Picture this. It's one of those blazing summer Saturdays in a quiet Georgia suburb, the kind of morning where the pavement shimmers and even the birds sound tired. A 12-year-old girl named Jada Wilson drags out a folding table she borrowed from her aunt, a big blue cooler sloshing against her knees. She's got hand-painted signs with glitter stars, a neat row of dollar water bottles, and a dream so big it barely fits in her chest, Disneyland with her mom. She's polite, she's organized, she's exactly what you want a kid to be. And across the street, a woman named Linda Pierce is watching her like she's plotting a crime. Jada's mom, Rochelle, is a trauma nurse who just finished a 14-hour shift. She leans in the doorway of their townhouse in her scrubs, hair pulled back, a proud but tired smile on her face. "Look at you, baby girl," she calls. Jada beams, showing off the little pouch where she's already tucked $17. For a minute, it's just a sweet picture of determination. Neighbors jogging past a man with a golden retriever. An old lady reminiscing about her own kids' lemonade stands. But then Linda's heels start clicking toward them, clipboards swinging at her side like a weapon voice cold enough to frost the plastic bottles. "Do you have a permit for this operation?" she snaps. Jada blinks, trying to keep her voice steady. "It's just water, ma'am, like a lemonade stand." Linda snorts. "This is illegal street vending, plain and simple. Business license, health certificate, insurance, each word a little knife." Jada's throat tightens, her fingers hovering over her hand-drawn sign as if it suddenly looks childish. That's when Rochelle steps out onto the lawn, calm, but with steel in her spine. "Excuse me," she says evenly, "but why are you harassing a child instead of enjoying your Saturday morning?" Neighbors start slowing down. Phones tilt up. Linda's face flushes a blotchy red. She whirls away, muttering, punching numbers into her phone. "If you won't listen to reason," she says loud enough for the crowd to hear, "maybe you'll listen to the authorities." Minutes later, a patrol car eases up to the curb, blue lights slicing through the heat. Jada's little hand slips into her mom's. "It's okay, baby," Rochelle murmurs, even though her own pulse is hammering. Linda straightens, clipboard clutched to her chest like a badge, ready to relish the takedown. But when the older officer steps out, his eyes land on Rochelle, and his expression softens. "Nurse Wilson," he says, surprised. "You're the one who saved my brother after that pileup on I-85. Rochelle nods. Linda's smile wobbles. The officer buys 2 bottles on the spot, hands Jada a 10, and tells Linda firmly that emergency lines are for emergencies. That should have been the end of it. But people like Linda don't quit. When they're embarrassed, they escalate. First, it's a violation notice taped to the door, then a post on the neighborhood forum painting Jada as a disruptive influence. By Monday, a formal HOA fine, $100 a day for unauthorized commercial activity, then a zoning letter claiming $15,000 in code violations. Rochelle realizes Linda isn't just HOA president, she's also a senior city enforcement officer. This isn't about water bottles anymore. It's about power. Jada starts folding up her stand, shoulders drooping. "Maybe Disneyland was a stupid dream anyway," she whispers one night, clutching her Mickey plush. Rochelle kneels, holding her close. "Don't you dare believe that. This is exactly what I taught you to do. Work hard for what you want." We don't let bullies win. It's a quiet kitchen pep talk, but it lights something in both of them. Rochelle scrolls through her contacts, finds the number of Marcus Carter, a young civil rights lawyer she once treated in the ER. "I think I have a case you'll want to hear," she says when he picks up. The next days blur into interviews and kitchen table strategy sessions. Marcus brings legal pads. Jada brings a color-coded notebook and a box of sticky tabs. They knock on doors. Mrs. Alvarez with the garden fines, the Washingtons with the noise complaints, the Chens with the decoration citations. Each story overlaps a red dot pattern on Jada's homemade timeline, showing exactly which families got targeted. The real breakthrough comes from a nervous former zoning clerk who slides a thumb drive across the cafe table. "She kept a special list," the woman whispers. "Fast-track complaints on certain homes, ignored others." Marcus's eyes flash. "That's your smoking gun." By the weekend, the cul-de-sac has turned into something new. Folding tables become petition stations. Neighbors who used to wave politely now stand shoulder to shoulder. Even off-duty cops show up with hot food and pledges to testify. And Jada, the little girl who just wanted to sell water, finds herself at the center of a movement. Sometimes you have to stand up and let your voice be heard, Rochelle tells her as they arrange chairs for a block meeting. Even if your hands shake. City Hall smells of old wood and tension. Every bench, packed people spilling into the hallway. Rochelle smooths her navy dress. Jada clutches her notebook like a shield. Linda strides in wearing pearls, greeting council members like old friends, but there's a tremor in her hands now. Council president knocks the gavel. We're here to address allegations of discriminatory enforcement. Marcus rises steady as a metronome and lays out the evidence. Projected on the screen, Jada's timeline glows red dots clustering around minority-owned homes. Gasps ripple. Rochelle takes the podium, voice calm but carrying to the back row. What began with my daughter selling water bottles has exposed a pattern that affects our whole community, she says. This isn't about permits, it's about fairness. She points to the projector. Here's what selective enforcement looks like. Witness after witness stands up Mrs. Alvarez about her garden, the Washingtons, about their lawn, the Chens, about their decorations. And then Jada steps forward, tiny next to the mic, but her voice finding its edge. I thought if I worked hard, I could make my dream come true, she says, eyes glistening. But Ms. Pierce made me feel like I was wrong for even trying. My mom says dreams are goals you work for. She says bullies don't win just because they're loud. The chamber goes quiet, a heartbeat held. Marcus turns to Linda. Isn't it true you cited Mrs. Alvarez's tomatoes while ignoring identical gardens elsewhere? Linda snaps. Those situations were different. Different, how Marcus presses. The aesthetic impact or the heritage of the gardener. These people need to learn to follow rules, she blurts. A ripple of whispers, these people. Marcus slides printed emails across the table. Linda's own words calling residents undesirable elements and instructing staff to watch certain blocks closely. She lunges for the papers. Cameras flash. They're ruining everything, she shouts, with their kids and their noise in their gardens. This neighborhood used to have standards, council president's face hardens. I think we've heard enough. A vote is called. One by one, hands rise unanimous. Termination of Linda's zoning post, effective immediately. Full investigation launched. HOA leadership to be reconstituted. Linda stares straight ahead as her power dissolves like sugar in water pearls, askew mascara streaking. Outside the chamber, the crowd surges toward Rochelle and Jada, clapping, hugging, holding up homemade signs. A week later, 2 open suitcases sit on Jada's bedroom floor, Disney stickers covering every inch. Neighbors have pulled gift cards, the coffee shop has passed, the hat even Officer Miller has chipped in. Rochelle cooks Mickey-shaped pancakes while Jada double-checks her packing list. Across the street, a for sale sign leans in Linda's once perfect lawn, dandelions sprouting where she once scolded kids for walking. Jada sees the curtain twitch, and being 12 just waves, no bitterness, just a wave. They drive off to the airport with the windows down, the Georgia sun washing over them. Jada hums a Disney song under her breath. Rochelle squeezes her daughter's hand on the console. They've won more than a trip. They've won their dignity back and shown a neighborhood how to stand together. And yet, as the houses shrink in the rearview mirror, Rochelle knows power like Linda's doesn't disappear. It just moves somewhere else. Someone's always watching, deciding who belongs and who doesn't. The fight goes on, but so does the dream. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Was Linda just enforcing the rules, or was this a case of power and prejudice? Have you ever seen a kid's dream crushed by an adult's authority or a community? Step up and say no. Drop your story or your state in the comments. And if you believe kids' hard work should be celebrated, not punished, share this video and subscribe so more people hear what really happened on that hot Georgia street.